living my scrub life.
Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to my channel. My name is Imani for those who don't know me, and I'm a registered nurse. So I'm going to go ahead and jump right into the video. As the title says, this is going to be a video about my nursing school testimony and pretty much what I went through in nursing school to get to the point that I am at today. So if you're interested in my journey, stay tuned. So when I got to school, I knew that I wanted to be a nurse. That was my end goal. I knew that I wanted to be a nursing major. I knew that I wanted to be in the healthcare field. I knew that I wanted to save lives. I knew wholeheartedly that was something that I wanted to do. So I went ahead and met with the appropriate advisors. They gave me the curriculum to go ahead and begin my nursing journey. So with that, my school is a 4-year school, so I had to take 2 years of prerequisites. Those prerequisites being sciences, maths, histories, literatures, and elective classes with heavy focuses on science. I pretty much was in a science course every semester leading up to nursing school. In those 2 years, I also became very involved on campus. One, because I just like being involved in different organizations, and two, I wanted to make myself a competitive candidate for the nursing program. Also, with being involved on campus and dealing with schoolwork, I thought that would be a great opportunity for me to learn how to manage my time wisely, because when I got into nursing school, I knew the nursing school curriculum was very difficult, and I wanted to go ahead and prepare myself for the future. The time comes for me to apply for nursing school, and how my particular institution, how the process works is you have to apply the semester before you want to start. So I was planning on starting nursing school in fall of 2014, which was the next semester. So the previous semester, I went ahead and applied for nursing school, put in my application, and once my application was sent in, now it's a waiting game because I have to do an interview for nursing school. So pretty much people who get the interview are candidates who meet the nursing school requirement of completing X number of prerequisite classes, because you have to complete all of your prerequisites before starting nursing school. So throughout those 2 years, I did have a fairly well GPA. I think I had a 3.4 when applying to nursing school. And after I sent in my application, I received a letter in the mail from the nursing school saying that I was eligible for an interview. And they let us know that the interview was going to be a group interview. And I was fairly confident going into the interview and preparing for the interview. One, because like I said, I had been involved for the past 2 years. So with my involvement, I had been very familiar with group interviews. And two, I felt like with my GPA and with my previous involvement on campus that I was a competitive candidate. So the day comes for me to have my nursing school interview, and I'm confident, and I'm of course nervous and anxious. But as soon as I sit down and I see the panel of judges and the other people in my interview, my anxiety hits an all-time high. How the interview was set up is there were I think there were about 4 or 5 people who were being interviewed with a panel of about 5 or 6 judges. And the entire interview, I had to talk to myself and remind myself to calm down, be cool, you're okay, you've done this before, just be yourself, they're gonna love you. If they don't, they're lost. Just trying to calm myself down, because reality finally hit me that this is something that I had been waiting for and preparing for 2 years now, and this was a huge step into like my career. I have to get into nursing school first before I can even be a nurse. So the interview lasted, and I don't remember what questions they asked us, but the interview lasted, I think, about 30 minutes. And I just remember leaving the interview feeling defeated. I think I psyched myself out too much, honestly. But I just remember feeling very defeated, very disappointed in myself, just because I felt as though the preparation and involvement in volunteering that I had been doing over the past 2 years wasn't enough. I have no idea why I felt like that. I have no idea why I talked myself down about it. But I just remember just not feeling like I had put my best foot forward. A few weeks later, I received a letter in the mail saying that I was not accepted for the fall 2014 semester of nursing school. At first, I was sad and disappointed and a little bit hurt. But then I remember that fall semester was like the more competitive semester of nursing school. And I also took a minute to look at the bright side of things, the bright side being that I had another semester to mentally prepare myself. I had another semester to boost my GPA up even more. I had another semester to just have some me time and not stress as much. So the next semester comes, fall semester, and like I said, I'm just working on my GPA and mentally preparing for nursing school because I know that no matter what, I am going to be in the nursing program. So although I had already once applied, because I didn't get accepted, I have to apply again for the following semester, which will be spring of 2015. But the one downside to that is because I had already had an interview, I could not have another interview. Now that kind of made me nervous because I personally wanted to redo my interview because I felt like I just talked myself down and I was so nervous and I wasn't being myself and I wasn't really sure how they scored the interview or what aspects they looked at the interview, but I wanted to have another interview again, but was unable to do so. So because I could not have another interview for nursing school admission, I just thought, you know what, Imani, God hasn't brought you this far to leave you, so just let go and let God, and that's exactly what I did. So I applied for nursing school, and a couple weeks later, I received a letter in the mail saying that this time I was accepted into the nursing school program. I was so happy. I was so excited. I was thrilled. I was anxious. I had so many different floods of different emotions just because the moment I had been talking about for years had finally happened. And I was so ecstatic with everything that happened. Spring 2015 is here and it's time for me to start nursing school, and before we start, we have to go through orientation. The biggest thing they tell us at orientation is we have to make a 73 unrounded test average in order to advance on to the next semester. 73 meaning just test, no papers, participation, quizzes. Strictly all your tests had to add up to be a 73 or higher. Not a 72, not a 72.98, 73. So when I'm hearing that, I'm like, a 73, I can do that. I've been in my prerequisites, I don't want to say they were a breeze, but I maintained my GPA. I didn't make a lot of 73s. I was mainly making like A's and B's for the most part. So I thought a 73, that's nothing. I can make a 73 in my sleep. Boy, was I wrong. First semester starts and we start our courses, we start our labs, we start working on our skills, and of course I start preparing for my test, how I always prepare for my test. And the teachers continue to tell us, the students, that these are different questions than what you're used to. These are application questions, meaning in that for a lot of the questions, all the answers may be right, but which one is the most correct? Or it's not like as simple as reading your textbook and, oh, I remember this being in a textbook, that's the answer to the question. No, you have to apply it, and how is it relevant to this question? So I'm like, okay, cool, okay, bring it. So as I said, I'm studying, and eventually the first test comes. As I'm taking the test, I'm like, I'm going through the questions, I'm reading the questions, and I'm like, what am I reading? What? I don't remember seeing this. I don't remember seeing this, like, when I was studying. Was I studying the wrong thing? Did they give me the wrong test? Was I like, is this test meant for somebody in like third semester nursing school and not me? So I'm like, well, this test hard. But I'm like, everybody else probably thought the test was hard too. So y'all know how like after tests, people like friends wait around for their friends to see how they do, right? Like to see how they perform on tests. So as I'm leaving the test, there are like a sea of people who've already like completed their test and like talking about how they did while waiting for their friends who still haven't finished. So they're talking like, oh yeah, that was so easy. I knew the answer to this question. I actually thought the test was gonna be a lot harder, yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, what did I just get myself into? Still, they're just talking like, oh yeah, girl, I put that answer for this one too. Like going over the test answers and like trying to remember the questions and the answers. And I'm just like, I definitely didn't put that. I definitely did not put any of those options. So I'm like, dang. We get our test back, like the next day, and I fail. So when I say I fail, failing means I got below a 73. I don't remember what the score I got was, but I knew it was a 73, and I said, okay, Imani, that was your first nursing school test. You know what to expect now. So just kick it into gear, focus, study, apply those questions. Second test come. I think I do slightly better, but I'm still not, I didn't make what I wanted to make. I think I made like a high C. I'm like, okay, cool. So pretty much now we're at the end of the semester, and we have a couple more weeks of the semester's over, and my teacher emails myself and a couple of people. She's given us a notification that we're borderline passing nursing school, and she just wanted to let us know because of the policy they have of keeping the 73 around the test average, and if we don't make this test average, we're not able to advance on to the next semester. So when I say not advance on to the next semester, that means I pretty much have to, or whoever fails has to stay back and pretty much retake the course that they did not pass. But the kicker with that is you can only do that one time. So if you don't pass, you pretty much cannot fail another class again or you get kicked out of nursing school. So after she sends that email, and I think at that time when she sent that email, I had a 73 in the class. So I was literally like on the border. So I'm like, don't worry about it, Imani, you can do it. The end of the semester comes, and our final exams are tests called HESIs. HESIs are standardized tests that are designed to ask questions about whatever particular course that HESI is for. So for example, if I was taking like a fundamental HESI, then that HESI is going to strictly ask me questions about fundamentals of nursing, so on and so forth. So at this point, the HESI is my last chance of surviving or passing nursing school pretty much. So you know how at the end of the semester, you're like calculating your grade. You need to see like, okay, what grade do I need to make to still be considered passing? What grade do I need to make to like, have a B in a class, to have an A in a class? So at this point, I'm at a 73, and I need to see what score I need to make to be the bare minimum, to keep my 73 at least. So I think the score was like a 69, or it was like a 67, something, a 60 something. So I said, oh, Imani, girl, you could do this. You got it. It's all you. You can do this. Mind you, also, this is my first HESI. So go into this testing center, take the HESI, and I fail. I make like I don't know what I make. Now, when I say I fail, you have to make a certain benchmark score, and the benchmark will correlate to a certain percentage. So 850 benchmark is pretty much passing the HESI, and it just correlate, different scores correlate to different percentages. I think my benchmark score, or I think like, I don't remember my benchmark score, but I just know that I made like I don't know what I made, but I failed it. I failed it. Didn't make the benchmark, didn't even make the 73%, the percentage score. So I said, okay. I had one more, they allowed us to retake it. So I said, this is my absolute last time. Imani, you can do it. Relax. Said, you got it. I'm in the test, taking the HESI, and the HESI lets you know like your score right after you're done taking it. I think I make like a 60. I want to say I made like a 66, and I had to make like a 67. So I was like, no. So as soon as I leave the testing center, I go calculate my grade. My grade was a 72.98. My testing average was a 72.98. So I said, oh, this is a 72.98. There is no way that they will not let me advance to the next semester. There's no way. It's round it up. I won't tell nobody. You don't have to tell nobody. It could be our little secret. Leave it at that. As I'm walking, I'm almost home. And the same teacher who emailed me and told me that I was like borderline passing and like I had to, get my grade up, she emails me and tells me that I did not advance on to the next semester. And when she told me that, I was like, no. I was like, she's playing with me. I was like, but as you can see, like I got really professional. Like I put on my professional voice. I was like, I have a 72.98. Is there no way you can round it up? She hits me with the per policy, and I didn't even read the rest of the email because I just knew. So I didn't pass my HESI. I didn't really make the best grades my first semester. I think I underestimated how hard nursing school would be for me. And because I did that, I was not able to advance on to second semester of nursing school. So I pretty much had to start nursing school all over. I was hurt. I was mad. I was frustrated. I like cried myself to sleep. I was embarrassed. And because I failed, I was like, you know what? Maybe this isn't for me. I didn't know if I wanted to continue nursing school or just find something else to do. All right, guys, that is the end of my nursing school testimony part 1. If you want to find out what happens next, stay tuned for my next video.